I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of you guys have been asking when the next Red Deer help is coming out, and I've been kind of the opinion that we were reaching a point in the grind where maybe we had done too much Red Deer content, and I would kind of just start to maybe compile some things, whether it's rares or diamonds, and save those for kind of their own videos. But as you guys have been asking us to get back here out on Quattro and continue with the grind, that is exactly what we're going to do today. Now, we are going to be doing a full run today. However, we're not going to have every single Red Deer in the video, and I think by now probably most of you guys kind of know that is the way we tend to do it, but I like to explain it because if, randomly in this video you see my bullet count drop by like 15 and wonder what happened, it's usually a bunch of like level 5 and level 6 Red Deer, just kind of average size stags that I think at this point we are 3,000 stags into this grind, are a little too uninteresting to just continue to put into these videos and continue to make the videos like 30 minutes long. But a nice way to start out, I have started to experience, it seems like, Red Deer kind of late getting to their zones, so we may end up going back to some of these lakes in the southeast, but we at least got one stag here, and hopefully that means they're going to be into their zones. It is 6 o'clock now, and as we are dodging a bunch of wolves, or failing to dodge a bunch of wolves that are not attacking, or just simply fleeing exactly where we happen to be, we can grab our level 6, a 174, close to gold, and we can be on our way now that we've gotten one stag down. Now, regardless of the fact that there is in fact a max wood estimate level 7 over there, this is one lake that just simply has to be included pretty much no matter what kind of Red Deer are here, because there are so many stags, and over the course of what is usually about a 45-minute to 1-hour run, this is basically every single time the one area where we're guaranteed to get the most stags. And I mean, starting off there with a level 6 and a 7, and as we go along, we are just going to see more and more. Now, things have changed at this lake pretty considerably. I don't tend to get any stags over on this side anymore, which does kind of speed things up, but it kind of has messed with the way that we have it set up as far as tents and the placement of those go. So our first go to the hunt guaranteed, a 204.4 level 7 stag, and one of my favorite racks. Just I love all the tines in the mass up towards the tops here. And then just a little level 6 beside him, and not only is this the lake that's got like the kind of most potential for finding stags and finding a bunch of stags, it also has my favorite spot to hunt, and that is this upcoming zone. So what we have to do is run to we're within render distance of that, about 400 meters. I usually go to 380 just to guarantee it, and then we fast travel and get to shoot stags almost in like a self-drive, and we'll take a look at what that's like in just a second. As we're approaching 380 and beyond that point, I'm going to remove the waypoint so it's not in our way, and the zone has moved a little bit to make this a bit tougher, but no matter what, when we fast travel this close to the Red Deer, they are going to spook, and they always spook, for whatever reason, in the same direction and end up running right past us. So the one kind of bad thing is when the stags run that fast, we're able to get him down. Another small one there, and they will eventually go to a drop, just kind of like that, where we can hit them, and I tend to hit them twice just in case. And it looks like there were only the 2 stags, and actually this is one of the rare times where there weren't any big ones. Almost every single run, I'll end up with a big 7 or an 8, and I think it's because they're running and they're running broadside basically every single time. I think it's a great one at first, and it never ends up being that. And actually, I don't know that we've gotten a diamond doing that particular kind of strategy just yet, but it works really well. At that range with the M1, in my opinion, it's tough for the Red Deer to get away, and it's much faster than trying to sneak up on them or shoot them at a distance. They always run the same way. I've never had it go wrong in that spot. Now, I can't guarantee that it's going to work that way on your map if you want to try it, but you could give it a shot and see if it does work. I think that speeds up this lake quite a bit. I'm hoping at least that maybe all these smaller stags will be a sign of the fact that there's a bigger one somewhere on the map. I've seen, I think this is the 3rd already, 150 to 180 kg stag, which is the minimum weight estimate, and a bunch of just level 5s and 6s, even at this lake, where we've kind of just shot them, and I didn't decide to include them in the video, but as this is usually the second to last place we see them on the lake, I wanted to go ahead and get those 2 down. Usually right where these hides are kind of spawning in is the last spot, and just another 5 over there, so not the most impressive showing from this leg. The 1 gold at the very first spot. And other than that, just a bunch of kind of lackluster stags, but we have quite a lot of ground to cover yet, and it is 7 o'clock, so we better start being a little more efficient. I guess if there's one good thing, the levels of those 2 stags added to 10, so maybe we can pretend that that means anything as far as great ones go. I do like this rack. I think the 7s can get it. There must be a variation that's a little bit bigger or something, because I've seen it make gold. But in that case, just a silver. And maybe, oh boy, I don't know what that maneuver was, but maybe there's another spot there where they drink. I think that's going to be a vital hit, so rather than wasting another shot, we can try to get that 5. That was a little unfortunate, the way that worked. A little kind of reckless with the shooting, but actually he's going down kind of fast, so I think it worked out. Got 1 bonus stag for this lake, and you can see by the hunting pressure, the stuff from the tripod is already gone where we shot the 2 that were running past. We got a bunch of stags as we go around. All of that is from stags. Just the 1 gold. Once again, by the way, we had at least half a rack that can make gold. I've maybe never seen these 2 antlers kind of combined. There's so much mass on this side, and then just nothing on his right side. It's almost like a injury kind of situation if you were to relate that to how that could happen in real life. But again, a silver, and we know for certain, especially with our shooting, this 5 at best over here is going to be silver, and there was another stag in there. I don't know where some of them are coming from. Again, not at all special. Another 6, in fact. I believe that first shot was vertebrae, so kind of had to throw a follow-up in there to bring him down more quickly. As I was saying, we kind of got to start being more efficient if we want to complete this run on time. Speaking of efficient, works out well when they're dead in the exact same spot. So this is our 6 of 168. And as for our 5, we did get liver, so save the silver on him if that's worth anything. Interesting way to get that shot off, but anyway, we can move on to the next lake. I did say that we're going to be only including like some of the better stags, but I can't not include a level 2, especially an 11 to 57 estimate. I mean, that might be the smallest stag we've seen on this grind. I don't see any additional points, and usually with them, they've got like little tiny brow tines or little tiny forks. He may, and we just can't see him at a distance, but I'm not so sure that isn't just a straight up spike. So the nice thing is we can just fast travel straight across and get him. And yeah, that is a straight up spike. 160 kg, that is the minimum weight. He's kind of got little brow tines forming, but certainly not enough to call them points. A 48 trophy rating. I mean, the good news is we've now accomplished, you know, most of the possible things you can do on a Red Deer grind. We've had a max weight, we've had a minimum weight, we've had one of every possible rare, we've had obviously like every possible metal other than great one. Maybe now that we have every other thing out of the way, it can happen. I mentioned at the beginning of the hunt that it seems like sometimes the red deer are late getting into their zones. And again, too, not exactly impressive stags, but they're just kind of now getting into their drink zone, despite the fact that it's past 7:30 now in game. But 2 more to attempt to take out. Might have to try to hit that guy on the walk. I thought for a second, a lot of times when they turn like that, that does mean they're going attentive or alert from the shot, but he just kind of happened to be turning at that time. Sir 12 apparently is somewhere near us. Might have had like part of his hitbox going through ours, because I don't know why that kept us from getting our shot off, but hopefully this time we're going to be all clear. Whenever he actually lifts his head, there's a long time to wait for a level 4, but at least we got the hard shot and wanted to track him. And as we're headed over here to claim what are no doubt 2 silver red deer, I mentioned again at the beginning that I've been kind of starting to compile diamond or rare red deer when they show up, and had been planning on just kind of making a video of that. And this is one of the lakes where we've been fortunate enough to take a trophy stag. I think for this one, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We have yet another level 9 red deer out here. 223 to 269 estimate, but that does appear to be the bigger rack. Like, I don't see the split brow tines. So he should be a guaranteed diamond, and it's been nice the last 3 runs, I think, we've had level 9s in all of them. And I would say out of the last 500 red deer, there's probably been 6 level 9s and 2 of them being trolls. So we're starting to see more and more of them pop up, but I think given the fact that we've gotten 12 diamonds now, it's time to kind of switch up our weapons. So we have the 243. The issue is, he's kind of got some hinds as bodyguards, so I think the move is going to be try to alert them, or at least alert him, and ideally kind of get him to step out and face us. At least he's going alert. If we can get a heart shot in there, that would be ideal, and we did. Now, of course, the 243 is a little underpowered compared to something like the M1, and he ran for just a couple of seconds. But, unfortunately for his little level 5 friend, today is not the day to get away. We still have to bring them down, despite the fact that we are starting to see more and more level 9s. I think it's coming from just being efficient and persistent on trying to shoot as many of the stags as we can, and I believe at least we should have gotten that level 5. Maybe the shot was a little far forward. I think it's going to bring him down anyway, but like I said, this appeared to be the guaranteed diamond rack. Kind of brow times are hidden, but yeah, no splits. So he will make it, and he is in fact a 265. So one of our better ones, and to take him with the 243 heart and left lung. I wish we could have dropped him. I think a next shot would do it, but he wasn't facing us, and that wasn't really going to be an option. So, as per usual, the difficult part is fitting the entire rack in the screenshot, but diamond number 13 from the grind and add to our red deer lodge. I think that was the first time as well, despite the fact that we have shot so many diamonds, that we actually went ahead and took one with a different weapon. But it's nice to kind of switch it up, especially after that many. I'm not sure if we ever did that with the red deer, or with the whitetail grind rather, but it can at least keep things interesting. It definitely does not make our lives any easier that we do have to kind of come back and check some of the areas that we started at. This was a lake where we visited probably in the first 5 minutes and didn't see any stags, and obviously there with a mythical, there was a good one in the area, and I swear this wasn't happening at the beginning of this grind, and I also don't think there's been any updates or anything that has changed it. I'm not sure if it's the areas where the red deer have to come from, or, you know, why they are so late getting to some of their zones. But it does kind of require that backtracking, and it can make it difficult to get through an entire run and be as efficient as possible, but that's just kind of one of the obstacles we have to deal with. And he may not be the best looking mythical, in fact, one of the least symmetric ones I've seen. But on a hunt where we've only had, I think, the 1 max wood estimate stag so far, it's definitely a welcome sight. As quickly as that, or at least it feels quickly, given the lack of quality stags, we are at the lake that I pretty much always make the last lake of the run, and the reason is, it consistently has a bunch of stags, which consistently means a bunch of hunting pressure. Now in this case, I couldn't imagine a much worse spot for them to be in. I think the move is going to be probably fire a 22 round over in there and alert them. And I'm thinking climb into the tripod and try to kind of get a decent shot angle, ideally to get both. Now, when they are alert or alarmed, they're going to spook more quickly after the initial shot. So it's going to kind of depend here. And generally speaking, if they do spook, there is an opportunity to get them later. I want to go ahead and drop that guy. Ooh. I think that had to be an intestine shot. We were so close to having that perfect. I think we hit a tree, trying to get into our follow-up shot, but we dropped the first one. The 5 is going to go down, and I would certainly think there are going to be more stags, usually kind of just over this hill or maybe back on this side. Not only are there stags over there, it's 2 of the best ones we've seen, just 2 7s, but 2 that are definitely going to make gold. And as long as there's none back in here, which I'm guessing there are not, we should be all set to go ahead and go for those shots. So we'll grab our 5 on our way through. Nice little heart shot there at 220. And it's going to be difficult, kind of the area that they're in. Once again, we may be best off trying to alert them with the 22. I guess we'll just do that now, and in this case it may be better to wait for them to calm down. they're not in as good a spot to just kind of let them spook, so we'll see what they do. They've at least kind of spread out, but they're basically just walking back and forth, so as they are doing that and not all clustered up, we're gonna try to get a shot at that 7. The other 7 is a little less than cooperative, but he should eventually go to a trot. Luckily there's only 2. We've had it plenty of times when it's like 4 stags up in there. I have no idea if that shot goes through the branches got him. It felt like it would have hit him if there are no branches in the way, but I'm pretty sure I just saw one disappear there. Yeah, that's the first 7 we shot. Sometimes they'll kind of come up through here where it's open, sometimes they end up going up too high. Hunting pressure says, I'd say that's only 1. Oh, actually, we hit him. He just went alert there, so if we can, I just saw another stag go past him. That shot should be a little better. There was a small stag in there with him. I don't know where that came from. I also don't know if we'll get an opportunity to take it. That might work. Well, this has turned into an interesting lake, and once again, as we are going to kind of wrap up and claim everything, this was another lake, and the first time that we ever had it, where we were able to take a trophy stag again. I've got to be honest, there are locations in which the antlers of a level 9, I could be convinced that it was a great one without looking too closely. When I first saw this guy, I thought that maybe we were done, but unfortunately, we are looking at what I think should be diamond number 14 if we don't mess him up. And actually, in this case, whatever we are, 250 kills or so since the last, I don't even have the 243 to make this one interesting, so running with the M1, if we can get a shot opportunity, he is doing a real good job of keeping his body hidden behind that brush. But eventually, especially now that he is alert, he should either kind of go back to where he was or start drinking in a different spot, and hopefully allow us to get a shot in there. This has been one of the more challenging ones just to get a shot at. Kind of getting away from the others there. I wouldn't mind going for just like a double lung. I mean, you can just squeeze the shot through there and get him in the heart, I guess. That guy just about allowed a hard shot in there too. Actually, I didn't even know that one was there, but at this point we are just kind of continuing the grind. After getting that 9, did this one get a lung? It did not. Maybe intestine. I think it could have been in the lungs though, and that will get him down. And for our purposes here, the only one that matters is the level 9. And by the way, just kind of due to the chaos and him hiding behind the brush and stuff, I don't know if that was the guaranteed diamond rack, like the big rack, or not. I think it had to have been because I kind of confused it for potentially being a great one. But seeing no splits on the brow tines, I would say that confirms he's going to be a guaranteed diamond and a guaranteed 14th diamond on our red deer grind here on Quattro Cleanus. So let's pick him up and take a look. 266.1. I really feel like that number, or, you know, stags in that general vicinity, have come up the most on this grind. Like, it's not usually lower scoring ones, and it's not, you know, upwards of, say, 267. I think we have 2 above 267, and they're both like 0.1 and 0.3, so just barely. But it's right in that 265, 266 range where we continue to see our diamonds. But another one to throw into the lodge there, and I guess another total of 3 out of this little area. So pretty cool to add 2 more diamonds to the tally. Unfortunately, no more from today's hunt, but actually 1 more shot to take here. Hopefully just 1 more. Well, maybe 2 more. I wanted to go for a neck or brain shot, but that didn't exactly work out. Now, I still don't know where the second stag that we shot from our initial grouping of shots got to over in there. We have a bunch of claiming and recovery to do. And we've got 1 down here. That is one we hit 3 times, and it must have been from... Actually, I think that was the one that was down at that initial spot. That probably means... Did that guy... What on earth? I was gonna say that was the one that we had hit earlier, but it was not. That might be the first time we've ever had a no-scope drop shot in a situation like that. We've got a 7 down here. I think the only one left that we made a good shot on. Left lung and a gold. and both of our remaining stags are down here side by side, so that shot on the 5 fleeing was good enough. And then our 7, we did not end up getting a lung hit, so just a silver after all that. And after the chaos at this final lake, and you see why I kind of saved it for the end, there were so many stags here and so much hunting pressure spread around. We are going to head back to the trophy lodge and place our 2 new diamonds. And finally, kind of completing this wall with our 2 new stags, a 265 and a 266. And also, just for the heck of it, I threw our little minimum weight in here. I don't intend to keep them here, but I just thought it was funny kind of having them in the center of this room over on this side. But, I mean, yeah, this lodge is filling up quite quickly. And I think if you count the diamond from the stream on Friday, we've shot now 15 diamonds. And I can't even remember how many rares, but I've got to think, you know, our numbers are nearly double what we've had from the whitetail grind. So hopefully that great one is just around the corner. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.